Definitely. Now, of course, we want to get into the Malaysian spirit right away, right? So we're going to be touching a bit about unity in diversity. Now, of course, Malaysians, we've been together for many years.
Exactly.
A lot of different races, religions, culture, and we all get together in, I would say, in a harmonious way as well. So definitely we want to talk more about it, right? Bring you guys more into the spirit of Malaysia, bringing what we are all about.
Exactly.
So to talk all about that, we actually really delighted to have a professor, Professor BALAKRISHNAN Parasuraman, Dean Centre for Postgraduate Studies from University Malaysia, Kelantan. Unfortunately, he couldn't join us in person today, but he's here with us through Google Meet. Hi, Professor.
Yes.
Can you hear us?
Hello, Prof. Bala. How are you?
Yeah. Good afternoon to everyone.
All right.
Joe and
thank you so much for spending your Saturday morning / afternoon with us. We, of course, want to know, since the topic today is unity in diversity. I keep wanting to say university because you're a university lecturer or professor. Can you actually best describe what do we mean by unity in diversity, especially for non-Malaysians who don't necessarily understand our Malaysian dynamic?
Okay, thank you, Zoe and Erin. Okay, I delight to, thanks to RTM to invite me. Actually, if you talk about unity, I think Malaysia is the best country. That's why I'm concerned. Because unity bring everyone in together. So you see Malaysia, as you say, for non-Malaysian, so when they come to Malaysia, we can see we all live harmonious between different races. So when you look at the unity in this Malaysian context, we have Malay, Chinese, Indian, of course, Putra from Sabah, Sarawak, and also orang asli here. So you can see that is a unity. So even though we are diverse in terms of religion, in terms of language, but we are unity in the one language that we all speak, that Bahasa Melayu. I think that's why I'm concerned since I entered the school time. Until now that I able to very proud to speak Malay, and I can see anyone, okay, anyone in Malaysia, when you meet each other, we can speak that one language. That bring a unity in the context of Malaysian spirit. So that's why I said the culture that we have very diverse, okay, background diverse, but we inherited too many cultures diversity. But when it comes to the unity, we all in the one Malaysia spirit. So I'm still very proud to say I am Malaysian, okay? Although, okay, I'm Indian or, myself, but I consider I'm Malaysian. So the spirit of Malaysia in my heart, because when we meet different kind of people in Malaysia, so that's how we bring. That's why whenever I see tourists, they were very amazing to see why Malaysia can be unity. Why can be a good example? Because of that particular point that we are diverse in terms of language, culture, religion, but we are unity in the one Malaysia spirit. This may be my introduction.
Yeah, truly, Prof. Actually, I really agree with you, and thank you so much for sharing all of that. Because oftentimes we forget about the many different races, religion, and also the culture that live among us, right? And oftentimes, even being Malaysian, we forget about our people, our friends in Sabah and Sarawak. And they are always...
Well, I cannot forget. I'm Sabahan, Erin. I cannot forget that.
I know, but I have to also mention that the reason is because sometimes, when I have some of my friends who are also from Sabah and Sarawak, they come here, they feel a bit like an outsider. So that's definitely something that we don't want to make them feel. Of course, along the years, we got to know them, we're friends. It works that way. So I really do see it to an extent where sometimes this actually happens, right? And of course, being Malaysian, we are very welcoming to our guests, our guest people from different countries as well, right? So, Prof, I do want to ask you, because it has come to my attention that you spend some time in Sabah and Sarawak. So I do want to ask, what are your favorite things, or what is your most favorite activity or thing about East Malaysia?
Okay, I'm lucky, thank God. After I completed my study in Terengganu, IPG, I did my diploma in education. So my first posting was in Sempurna. I think you all know, very far away from this part of the world. Then I start from Sempurna. Sempurna is a starting point why I thought all my kids and children now they all become someone in the career. But Sampurna, you know, the Bajau, they have a different language.
Yep.
And then I really enjoy when I go there. Of course, the language that we speak, what we speak in Peninsular Malaysia, then what we speak in that language, sometimes there is a differences or similarities. So we need to be very careful when I was there, because the language we speak is really sometimes can hurt them. But after a while, I'm traveling around. I like to travel. I like to go see many places. So that's why I mingle around with Kadazan Dusun. Some people don't know what is a Kadazan. People don't know what is a Dusun. People don't know what is a Bajau. You know, like we got people from Bugis, and then you can see people from the Brunei, and then a lot the diverse in terms of ethnic in Sabah. But what I see that the people all very unite in the spirit of Malaysia. So you can see that first time I was surprised. I want to tell you here. So surprised when I see the Muslims, the Kadazans, and the Chinese sit on the table in the you know, one coffee shop.
Yep.
They just have coffee together. No differences. And of course, wedding is very beautiful because in Sabah a lot of mixed marriage. Okay, you can see a lot of mixed marriage happen between races. So during the wedding, you can see the beauty of ethnic on the Sabah and Sarawak, especially Sabah. So I mean, the Muslim will come to the, let's say the Chinese get wedding with the Bajau or with the Kadazan Dusun, but the Muslim very united in terms of family spirit lah. So that's what I learned from in Sabah, and then they're very simple-minded. All right, they're very simple-minded. They don't put the religion aside. You know, they don't bring religion on the mainstream, because religion is your own belief. Okay, you are Christian, you believe I'm Christian. You're Muslim, you're Muslim. You're Buddhist, you're Buddhist. So what we can see that the family relationship. So that's what I learned a lot. I was there for 3 years as teacher. Then I was joined University of Malaysia Sabah. I was a pioneer in 1996. I was there, and then until I completed all my study, then I moved to Peninsular Malaysia. But during that time, what I do is I mingle around with a lot of people because I want to learn the murut. You know, the one thing good though, they have a very good in terms of uniqueness of like dancing.
Yeah.
Every costume different. All right. So when you look at that kind of things, you really enjoy. That's why you see, when tourists go to Sabah or maybe a Sarawak, you can see the multiple. And I was in Sarawak for last 6 years because one of my student, he just late Dato' YB Dato' Talib, he passed away last year. So Dato' is one of the important person in Sarawak, and he brought me a lot of people, different kind of people. He's a Muslim. And I'm, like say, I'm the Indian. But when I go there, I can see the Indian, the Chinese, the Iban, you know, the Melanau, all of them in one big family. So I never see any differences. So we are diverse in terms of religion, but what we can learn is about Sarawak, we learn. That's why you see Malaysia can be a center for excellence for cultural diversity. And we can attract a lot of tourists. The tourists love to go there and enjoy the dance, enjoy the different kind of food, enjoy the people there, very simple-minded and easygoing. This is what I learned. And just back from Sabah, about 2 weeks ago. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I totally...
Tremendously so beauty. You go.
Love that.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally agree with you because I'm Sabahan myself, and I do agree that I read this article like a few years back. There's about 55 different ethnicities in Sabah in total, or is it 55 different languages that is spoken in Sabah as well? But at the end of the day, it's like Prof mentioned, is that we have a lot of mixed marriages. I'm mixed myself. I'm Chinese and Banjar or Indonesian, if you guys don't know what Banjar is. And oftentimes people get very confused. They're like, how are you Chinese? But you're Indonesian, but you're Malaysian. And I just have one thing I always say, I'm Sabahan. And then the minute I say that, it explains a lot of different things. But Prof, if you're still on the line, I do want to know though, because now you have spent a little bit of time in East Malaysia, and of course now you're back here in the East Coast as well, in Terengganu, in Kelantan. Can you tell us maybe some of the similarities that you see between the two regions? Because very often people would say that, oh no, Semenanjung Malaysia is different, Borneo is different, but actually we're all very, very similar in terms of certain things, right? So can you share what are some of the similarities that you've seen?
Okay. When I come, actually I was hijacked to come to Kelantan. I was promoted as professor. That's why I come to University of Malaysia, Kelantan. So when I was studying in Terengganu a few years back. I didn't spend time about just only 1 year. I didn't come to Kelantan for that time. And then now I'm already Kelantan for 12 years. Okay, amazing, huh? 12 years. So what I see the similarities, Kelantan is have another uniqueness. If you all come to Kelantan, you can see the Chinese, Indian can speak very fluent dialect of Kelantanese.
Yeah, Kelantan is Malay, right?
You cannot differentiate. If a Chinese speak to the Malay, you think he's a Malay. I got my friend, Sunny Tan. He is the owner of the Isuzu. So I go coffee with him. I like Kelantan because they have best cafe comparable to other place. And I like to, actually I'm the expert in human resource, industrial relation. I like to go around, I mix with people. And then, you know what did you see? Here people are very nice people. The same pattern I saw in Kelantan, Sabah and Sarawak. Many people say, hey, Kelantan is like that. No. In terms of religion, they're very freedom. Okay? They don't touch it. You see, we got a Buddhist temple in Tumpat. We go to Thai community. So they all in one in the family, you know. So I slowly adopt the things. So I was 12 years here. I really love. Nice place, very cozy, and their food, you know, like heaven. Here got nasi daga, nasi kerabu, and voodoo, you know, voodoo. So all these things, I really thank God. God bring me to different diverse. And recently I went to Pulau Perhentian. Then I went to the people there. I saw a lot of tourists there, you know. Wow, so many tourists, like I'm in Europe. But the moment they look at us, I go with my friend, my student, Mr. Firdaus. So me and Firdaus, like brother, sister, like brothers, you know. His family, imagine so, the daughter of Mr. Firdaus, I can carry her, she hugged me. Hey, how can this happen? So you can see the difference. They are very close. And also, of course, Terengganu. And of course, the other part of the Malaysia, I think Selangor, Perak. And I'm born in Kedah. So I know how Kedah and Perak, I was studying in Penang, okay? So it's more diverse. And when I talk to the people, even abroad, when I was studying in Australia or I frequently go to Europe, I always say, I'm very proud. Please come to Malaysia. Malaysia is the best place. And truly enough, many people, those come from abroad, they like to stay in Malaysia. If you look at the Sabah Sarawak, you can see the Korean shop a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Chinese.
So
you know,
many
everywhere.
Chinese tourists, Korean tourists. We get actually a lot of tourists at one point, I think this is like pre-pandemic or post-pandemic, I don't remember.
It's post-pandemic where there were like a lot of Koreans.
Yeah, a lot of Korean tourists. I actually went back home and then I was at the airport. I was actually confused. I was like, am I in Incheon? Am I not in KKIA or something? Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for that sharing, Prof. Ola.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, Prof, there are a lot of different things that you've also mentioned where, you know, we've learned from them and they've also learned from us. I think also based on my experience, like I mentioned, some of my friends who are Sarawakians who came here and they feel a bit alienated, you know, as to like, because the cultures, or I would say the way of life here and there is a little different. Yeah. The way we, I would say, describe unity and the way Sabahans and Sarawakians describe unity is entirely different, right? So there are a lot of different things that I believe we can teach each other. So I do want to ask, Prof, in terms of that, right, what do you think, based on your experience in living in Sabah and Sarawak, what do you think there are some things that they could possibly teach us who, you know, in Peninsular Malaysia and also we them?
Okay, my first question is in Malaysia, we have a different religion. Don't bring religion into our context, all right? Religion is such a good for us to be a good person, all right? So what I see in Sabah and Sarawak, they put aside, they don't bring a religion inside. What they do they are their family, they're very close family relation, you know. I can see the Bajau can go to the family of the Kadazan Dusun, they can sit there. Even you see Bajau from Sumpurna, Bajau from Patapulur, all different people. But what we learn is the simple mind. First, the simple mind. Second, they don't bring religion into the context of relationship. And then very simple, the simple life. So the language they speak sometimes very, you know, look very harsh. But no, actually, sometimes, people from Semenanjung go there and they think, oh, the language is so hard. Actually, no. Inside the heart, it's very clear. That's why I learn a lot of things when I come back to Kelantan, I see a lot of Sabahan students. So I'm the first established the club of Sabah and Sarawak club, So when I started this club, everybody like shocked. Why you set up? I say we have to learn from them. And all my children, I personally I think all my children, Malay, Chinese, Indian, all of them is my children. In fact, until now, I'm very close with them. The way they are, the way they are addressed to you, the respect they give to you, and then totally changed. So I think Malaysia, even though Borneo is so very far away, but we need to have a lot of activities, that the connectivity between Sabah and Sarawak and Semenanjung Malaysia. I think even people in the West Coast doesn't come to Kelantan. I'm surprised. I asked them, have you been to Kelantan? They said, no, why? They said, please come. You enjoy the beauty of the same thing to Sabah Sarawak. So I also learned from Kelantan because they're very, very close. Example I give you, yesterday I got one roti canai kedai near town. His owner is Indian, very famous, very, very famous, full of people. And the customer, who's that? Malay and Chinese. How can? I went to another coffee shop. The owner is Chinese, but the workers is Malay, and the customer is Malay. Why this happen? Because they won't bring anything on our side. So that's why I said Malaysia is a very unique. If we given time, I can migrate long time ago to overseas. I was given a chance 20 years ago, migrate to Australia. No, I said, this is my country. I'm very proud. That's why in this country, I learn a lot. Family, and I got a lot of relatives, and all of them like one in family. That's why God gave me a lot of experience. I traveled all over Malaysia, and I found that there's a unity, there's a diversity. But we are one in Malaysia spirit.
All right.
This is what I will say to everyone in Malaysia.
I love that. I love that you also touched a little bit about food as well, because
we love our food.
Yeah, we love our food. Anytime anybody asks me what to do in Malaysia, I'm like, eat. That's like number one on your list.
I'm entertaining you all. Don't worry.
Love that. Okay, so before we wrap things up, Prof, before we actually wrap up this segment with you, quickly, can you give us your Malaysia Day wishes and the one thing that you love about being Malaysian?
Okay, I really love Malaysia, unity, diversity, and harmony. This is the best of Malaysia, and I'm proud to be Malaysian. Everywhere I go, I bring the name of the Malaysia. I'm very proud to say I'm the Malaysian, pure Malaysian. And that's what I say to all Malaysians. You must proud yourself, you stay in Malaysia. This is our country.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prof. Balakrishnan. Thank you. I'm so